Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. There's a bird chirping outside of my window, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. But y'all knew this was coming. Y'all knew this video was coming. Today we're gonna do a full face of Cosis. I'm super excited. I love Cosis as a brand, honestly. There are very few things that I don't like by them. If you're new here, hi, my name is Vivian. I like all things beauty related, but I also try to focus on conscious consumption whenever I can. I hope you're excited, because I'm excited. And let's just hop into it. First, we're going to start off with some sunscreen, because I haven't put any on yet today. So this is just the Supergroup Unseen Sunscreen. Y'all, I'm so excited about this. If you've been here a while or if you follow me on Instagram, you guys will probably know that I love Cosis, honestly. Just everything about them is just my vibe. I don't even know the right words to say, but I love most of the products I've tried by them so far. Okay, sunscreen is on. First, we have the Cosis Revealer Foundation. This is in the shade Light, Medium, Neutral 200. So if you don't know, or if you're interested, Cosis base products tend to lean pretty yellow. So this is described as light medium with subtle pink undertones, and I find that it's more neutral than anything, which is what I'm going for. So I'm going to take a pump onto the back of my hand and then kind of just spread it with my fingers. And I'm actually going to take this beauty blender and I'm going to blend this out with my sponge. So this foundation actually gives pretty light to medium coverage depending on how much you go in with. I usually go in with a light layer, so I usually get lighter coverage with this, but you can build it up to more of a medium. If you don't know, Cosis is a clean beauty brand. You can get them at Sephora or on their own website. The thing that I like about this foundation is that it also has SPF in it. I think it has SPF 25, so even though it's not enough sunscreen to wear on its own, it's always nice to have a little bit of extra protection. This this foundation is super nice and kind of sinks into the skin, and it kind of looks like you're not wearing anything at all. It's not like super dewy, but it's not super matte either. It just kind of looks super natural on the skin, and I really like it. That's one layer. I zoomed you in a little bit so maybe you can see how it's actually looking on my skin. So it definitely didn't cover up everything. Like, I still have some blemishes here that you can kind of still see through, but overall my skin looks really nice and like natural. It doesn't look cakey or anything like that. I think this match is pretty good for me. If not, just a little bit dark, but you can always like blend down to your neck to make it match. You can see on my forehead, I do have like a dry patch here from some acne, and it's not clinging onto that at all. So overall, it's just really nice. I'm a really big fan. Next, we have the Cosis Revealer Concealer. I have mine in the shade 04N. Same packaging as the foundation, just like I think this is a plastic bottle, but it has this like yellow cap, whereas the foundation has a like frosted glass bottle, if that makes a difference for you. These aren't the most affordable products. They are relatively high end, not luxury as some other brands, but definitely a little bit more expensive. I believe this concealer is around $30, and I believe that the foundation is around $42. I will have everything and all the prices like listed when I have the close-ups, but it's not the most affordable, but I have really liked all of the products that I've used, and I find that everything really meshes well together. And I think that if clean beauty is something that you look for in a brand, this is a nice brand to go to. So I just started the concealer on just spots that I really need to cover up a little bit more. This concealer is definitely more of like a light to medium coverage, usually pretty medium in my opinion. But this concealer claims to also have skincare ingredients, so it also claims to be an eye cream and concealer in one, which is not something that usually concerns me, but it's always nice to just have like those added benefits. It also blends out super easily. I think this matches pretty well with the foundation, and I think overall it just looks really nice. I'm gonna add a little bit more concealer to my under eyes. I feel like they need just a little bit more coverage. I also want to note that the foundation, once it dries down, it feels really lightweight. Like I don't really feel it on my skin, and it just looks like skin. Like you really don't notice any emphasis of texture or anything like that, which is always nice. I'm actually gonna put on this wet lip oil next. I feel like my lips are kind of dry and they're starting to turn into butthole lips. I really like the scent of this. I feel like it smells like chocolate, and it's not my favorite gloss formula, but I do like it. It's definitely like more of a thicker lip oil, and it's not sticky at all. So I feel like the texture is pretty similar to the Ulta Beauty Juice infused lip oils, but I find that those are a little bit sticky, and this one is not. It's not my favorite, but I still like it. And also the packaging is just cute. I don't know. Cosis really gets me with their packaging. Like if anyone can make me want something just for the packaging, it's probably Cosis. Next up, we have my beloved Cosis powder. I have mine in the shade Cushiony. That's what the shade looks like. It's just such a nice powder. I really don't know how else to explain it other than it just kind of blurs everything together. Like it really just makes my skin look glowy. If I have a glowy base, it doesn't take away that glow. And if I find that like my pores look a little enlarged, this blurs it super well, and it's super lightweight on the skin. So overall, this is just a super good powder. I just love it. I just love it. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this powder on this Real Techniques setting powder brush. I'm gonna go underneath my eyes. And I'm basically just gonna set the center of my face. Okay, I want to zoom you in so that you can really see how my skin is looking. I feel like this powder doesn't emphasize any texture at all, and it just leaves such a pretty like sheen to my skin. I honestly don't know how else to explain it. I just love this powder. It always just looks super good. Big fan of the Cosis the Cosis Cloud Set Powder. Now for bronzer, this is the Cosis, what is this actually called? I think it's the Sunscape Bronzer. Anyway, this is in the shade medium. It's the same packaging as the Cosis Cloud Set Powder, but it's just in like green. This is a tiny bit glowy, so if that's not really what you're into, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this. It's not like as glowy as the Tower 28 Bronzino, but it is slightly glowy. So it's the same baked formula. So I'm going to use this big fluffy brush, and I feel like it just gives me such like a natural bronze. Definitely feel like a big bronzer brush, like a fluffy brush like this, is the way to go. And honestly, I kind of just haphazardly put it everywhere. Yeah. Right, I'm gonna put some down my neck. And it's just so pretty. Honestly, it's just like so glowy, and I feel like I look sun-kissed. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you think it looks natural? Do you like the vibes? I think I went a little low with it though, so I'm just gonna grab the sponge that I used for my foundation and concealer and just kind of go underneath that a little bit just to make sure it's all blended. So next we are gonna do blush and highlighter. So this is the Cosis cream color and light cream in Tropic Equinox. It's just this really pretty like peachy bronzy tone. These creams are very emollient. They are very, I want to say, melty. Like the second you touch it, it melts in your finger. There's like a little swatch of it. It's just so pretty. Like, and it just really melts into it. So instead of using my finger, I'm going to use this e.l.f. Putty Blush Brush. It's kind of like a stipple brush. And I'm just going to tap this all over my cheeks. Honestly, this brush is a little bit pokey, but I find that it gives me a really good blend of the blush color. Something that I think is very similar to this blush is the Milani Chickus cream blushes. Obviously not the same, not necessarily the same like color, but I feel like the formula is very similar and possibly a dupe, but I've never tested them side by side. I just know that I feel like the Milani formula is very similar to this in the way that it melts when you touch it. We're gonna go with like a sunburn blush look today. So that's blush all set. Here's what the base is looking like currently. I'm really liking it. I really like this. I don't know. Cosis kind of knows what they're doing. For the highlighter, I'm actually going to use my finger for the highlighter. I'm going to put a little on my nose, the high points of my cheeks, and like I said, these are very creamy and emollient, so they really melt with the heat of your finger, and I feel like it just gives such a pretty blend, and you can blend it out really easily with the tap of your finger. Some on the top of my lip as well, just for funsies. That is base all done. So far, I feel like a lot of these Cosis products just scream summer to me, with the bronzer especially. just like the way that it's slightly glowy but not glowy. It just has a very pretty sheen to it, which I really like. And this blush in particular, this shade Tropic Equinox, is just like a very pretty summery blush. It's not the most pigmented, as you can see, but it looks really, really nice in person. I'm just gonna actually put a little bit more blush on. I'm a heavy blush type of gal. So next we're gonna move on to brows. I have 3 brow products here. These 2 are the Cosis Air Brow. I have the clear, the clear Air Brow and the tinted Air Brow in dark brown. And this is the Brow Pop, which is their pencil, which has this triangular tip. I hope you can see that. It has this triangular tip, but it's a very thin pencil still, so you can still get really accurate strokes with it. First, I'm gonna brush out my brows with this spoolie on the other side of the Brow Pop, and then I'm gonna go in with the tinted brow gel. I don't remember if I said, but the pencil and the brow gel are both in dark brown. Do you notice a difference? I feel like the brow gel just fills in my brows nicely without making them look blocky. I feel like if I wasn't wearing a lot of makeup, I would totally be fine just running this through my brows and heading out the door. It doesn't have a super strong hold, so if you have really thick brows, I'm not sure this would be the best product for you. It does have more of a soft hold, which for my brows is kind of what I like. I don't necessarily want like a huge hold. It's just really nice. I feel like it makes my brows look nice and thick without being over the top and like blocky. I feel like my brows never look good on camera, but I swear they don't look this crazy in person. Okay, so next I'm gonna go in with the Brow Pop. I'm really just gonna focus this on areas where I think I need to fill in just a little bit. Okay, I just brushed through my brows a little bit, and now I'm gonna go in with the clear brow gel. Depending on the vibe you like for your brows, if you're more of a soap brow type of person, I don't think this is the brow gel for you. Like if you like the really, really fluffy brow look, I don't think this is gonna give you that. But if you're more kind of like me and just prefer more of like a natural brow look, I think these are really nice, and they kind of just make everything look put together and kind of effortless, even though you did put in a lot of effort. Or at least I did. Maybe you didn't. Brows are done. I swear they look better in person. I always feel like my brows look really weird on camera. So last, we have the Cosis 10-second shadows. I really like the packaging of this. It's like pretty and purple. So I want to note that this is a reformulation of their old 10-second shadows. So I have the original formula here. This one, the old formula is in the shade Globe, and the new formula is in the shade Heat. So you can't get the old formula anymore. The old formula was so pretty. This used to be one of my favorite just like everyday colors. It's just this very pretty like golden shade, but it has a really pretty reflect. I'm just swatching these two for you so you can see the difference. This side is the old formula. This is in the shade Globe, and this is the new formula in the shade Heat. So you can already kind of see that Globe is much more reflective than the newer formula. I mean, the shades are obviously different, but the formula itself, that this one is way more reflective, and when you like shift, you can just see that it's a different formula. With their reformulation, they also made the packaging smaller, so you get less product. The new one you only get 2 milliliters, whereas the old one you got 6 milliliters. I probably shouldn't be spending so much time on the old one, but I just really loved the old formula, and I find that the new formula is just very different. So if you have the old formula and you like the old formula, the new formula is just not the same. They're still pretty, they're still very pretty, like one and done eyeshadows, but they don't have that same reflectivity as they did before. So I'm gonna use the new one because obviously you can't get the old one anymore. And I'm just gonna put this kind of all over my lid, just because when you blend it out, you do kind of lose a lot of that pigment. So I do have like quite a bit on my lid right now, but at the end, it'll all look kind of cohesive. So I hope you saw that when you blended it out, it's just completely different. It just loses like any sparkle that it had before. I'm gonna see if I can build this up a little bit, and maybe I'll just put it on without necessarily blending it out, because I really want like a shimmery lid right now. So like you can see how nice it is on first application, but as soon as you try to blend it out, it just like disappears. Okay, so I let it dry just a little bit, and I think the second layer really helps. I'm just gonna take this brush. This is a ColourPop E22 brush, and I'm just gonna blend at the edges here. And when they say 10 seconds, they really mean 10 seconds, because I really can't blend that anymore, even though I'm gonna try. Oh, my nose is runny. Does that ever happen to you? Your nose gets runny when it's like at the most unopportune times. I feel like the eye look definitely doesn't suit the blush. The blush is definitely more warm tone, and this is a little bit cooler toned. So we're gonna replicate it on this eye, and then I will be right back. I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like it looks patchy. I feel like you really can't get like a good blend with it. I don't know. The original formula was just a lot better, and I'm sad that they reformulated it. My lids feel like dry and flaky now, which is not the best feeling in the world. But do you see what I'm talking about? Let's zoom you in. Do you see what I'm talking about? Like, I feel like it just looks patchy. And like, it doesn't look like I blended it well. This is one of the products that Cosis really did not do well with. Their original one is so nice. Their old formula, I really liked it. But this one, I don't know, something about it just not a fan of. What do you think? Let me know down below. I might end up just taking off the eyeshadow, honestly. Everything else looks like pretty good though. I hope you can see my cheeks look really dewy, which I'll probably need to powder. The bronzer is nice and like subtle. What do you think? Let me know. I'm really not a fan of the new Cosis 10-second eyeshadow. I did try to give it a shot. I swear I did. My lids feel like super dry now. I don't know. I just really don't like the way that feels on my eyelids. But that's a-okay. So I don't have any other Cosis lip products, and I don't have the Cosis mascara because I'm really picky with my mascara, and I knew I probably wasn't gonna like it. So I'm gonna line my lips with this NYX Lip Pencil in Soft Brown. Also with the gloss, I feel like the stopper prevents you from getting like a lot of product out, which can be a good or bad thing depending on how you like it and how much you use, but I would prefer a little bit more gloss like on the actual wand. And I'm gonna curl my eyelashes and put on mascara. I am gonna use the Cosmetics Pick Me Up mascara and just comb through my brows again. And that is the final look. What do you think? I liked everything so far besides the eyeshadow. Let me just zoom in. What do you guys think? I think the base looks really nice. Like, I feel like my skin looks really nice. And I think that's it, everybody. Overall thoughts, the only products that I have that I don't particularly like is the 10-second eyeshadow. I just think it really doesn't compare to the old formula, and I kind of wish they had kept the old formula around. I feel like my eyes, they don't feel dry, but when you like touch them, I feel like they feel crepey, if that makes sense. I don't think I got an even application on both sides. I feel like it looks kind of patchy. Yeah, I'm just overall not the biggest fan of the eyeshadow. Once my mascara dries, I'm gonna recurl my lashes so that they look more, I don't know, curled. Besides that, everything else is super nice. I really like the brow gel. I feel like it lifts, or not lifts, but it fills in my brows just enough that it's like nice to look at, but it's not too like in your face. It's not too bold. I also like the clear brow gel. It just gives like a very nice soft hold. I like the way the lip oil feels. I prefer thicker lip glosses in general, so the feeling of this is just super nice to me. This is in the shade Jellyfish, which is just the clear gloss, but I would definitely get more of these. The foundation and concealer are super nice. I have liked them for a while, and I will continue liking them and continue using them. I let this sit for a little bit, and you can kind of see like how much progress I've made on this concealer already. Well, already, I say that like I haven't had it for a couple months now, but I just really like the concealer. It's one of my all-time favorites. This powder is also one of my all-time favorites. I feel like no matter what look I do, I feel like if it looks not great, then this can help make it look better and kind of just make everything mesh together super well. The bronzer I like. It's not my favorite bronzer, but I do like that it gives like a very subtle sheen, but like bronze, if that makes sense. It is not too pigmented. It blends out super nicely. It kind of just is like a super nice powder bronzer, but it's not like a holy grail powder bronzer. But I do like it. I will continue using this. I like the formula of it. I think the color is nice for my skin tone as well. It's very, I would say it's more of like a red tone, but for summer I think that's super pretty. Overall, as a brand, I think Cosis kind of like screams summer vibes to me. So I feel like in the summer I'll definitely reach for these products a lot more. But yeah, let me know if you've tried Cosis before and what your favorite product is. Let me know what you think of this makeup that I'm wearing right now. Like I said, I don't love the eyeshadow, and I might end up taking just the eyeshadow off, but I think the rest of my base looks really, really nice. And again, I think my brows look better in person than they do on camera, so like don't judge me too hard from what you're seeing. The eyeshadow and the blush and this dress really don't really don't match, but we're just gonna ignore that for now. I really like this blush and highlighter. The highlighter is super pretty and super emollient, and it leaves just like a super pretty glow. I like the color of the blush. It's like this bronzy orange. It's not orange. It's like this bronzy blush that just looks really nice and like sun-kissed in my opinion. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here, hi, my name is Vivian. I upload videos every Monday and Thursday, and I'd love to see you again. I try to focus on using makeup that I already have in conscious consumption, but I do still get new makeup every once in a while, but I'd like to continue focusing on more conscious consumption in general. If you're into that kind of content, if you're into project panning and shop my stashes, stay tuned, stick around. I'd love to see you again, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!